Alright everybody, welcome back in. I'm Algorithmore. This is another Stormgate cast featuring Kim. Kiim12? I thought Kim was 11 last time. Did I mix that up? I don't know. In any case, this is Kim back at it on the channel. Welcome back, Kim. Thanks again for submitting some replays to me. And Kim's playing the Celestial faction, opening with an expansion here. But his opponent, playing in the blue, the Vanguard faction, is ImNeverGoodEnough. And ImNeverGoodEnough has decided to also go for an early expansion, as is very common with the Vanguard right now. And it's going to put up a command post here. We're playing on Boneyard, one of the oldest maps. Also one of the least favorite now because it had, a lot of people think it needs some changes, upgrades, or maybe just needs to be replaced by a different map. And I will say that I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic about the state of Stormgate right now. I believe that even though we've had a rough launch, that there is going to be a bright future for us Stormgate fans out there. So if you're still watching my channel, still looking for Stormgate games, I thank you for being part of this community. And I hope you can also have a optimistic view of a potentially bright future for us as this game continues to grow past launch. Now we do have this scout out here for ImNeverGoodEnough. Came out of that first racks and is going to scout out some bases. Second scout out here as well. The scout gets in, finds an Argent, takes a blast from that Argent, and then runs in. Well, there's not much else going on in here. Just that single Argent. A third creation chamber going down. Nothing suspicious here. This is a fairly standard opening. Here the two scouts go in hoping to get a prism, but no, the prism's turn to fight. And while no prisms go down there, I want to remind that is a little bit of economic damage there in the sense that the prisms had to be pulled off to do that, and that meant a few seconds not mining. Maybe just a couple Luminite lost there. Scouts are returning home. One of them's injured up, and we're up to two. Looks like two Argents here hiding behind the creation chamber there. Two more pop. And we're up to a third base also for ImNeverGoodEnough. Where did our pups go? Yeah, they went to go sit in the wellspring, heal up a little bit. Third base up quickly. Are we fully saturated? No. We have two mech bays here, producing hedgehogs.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
First Stormgate's going to be on the map, but the Argents are moving out. They're going in an interesting direction. It doesn't exactly look like they're headed to the Stormgate. No, they're moving to a defensive position here while their third base gets up.
A Stormgate has appeared.
And likewise, ImNeverGoodEnough has not moved towards the Stormgate either. Also in a very similar defensive position. They're both sort of camped out between their third and second base. But ImNeverGoodEnough thinks, hey, I'm close enough to the Stormgate. I'm going to go try and make a play for it, and sends his units over there. They're going to get the first shots. Now, Kim does see that, of course, with the vision around the Stormgate, and decides to move out. Stormgate's half captured. And yes, these Argents are going to the Stormgate. They're not aiming for this third. The Stormgate's almost captured, though. There's not going to be any chance that it's not captured. And so the Argents instead are running to catch reinforcements and get one hedgehog there for their effort. Now they're going to try and take out this supply. But no, the army of ImNeverGoodEnough catches up and is going to start harassing these Argents. One of the Argents might go down here. Yep, one Argent claimed. But running back to the Judicator nodes of third base is Kim. We notice their rollout Kree being added now. And yeah, a whole bunch of rollout Kree being added. And that's a good tier 1 sort of base army for Kim. And it's hedgehogs being added. We noticed that there's lancers being added too. So the barracks that was built is not going unused. What are these? 3 new racks. Okay. So there will be more bio added here. Not just a hedgehog base army. Sometimes you see way more mech. Now what does that mean? Maybe that's for medtechs. Oh, interesting. These Kree got in here and were able to push the Argents, the servos off of building there. And healing hugs out heal the attacks of the Kree, so no damage is going to be done here. But there was an attack up at the third as well. The army of ImNeverGoodEnough, though, is there to clean it up. I think a lot of servos went down here, though, before the army got there. Chasing back the Kree. Meanwhile, there was still this Kree in the main. Getting out, having done whatever damage was possible. Pushing Kim all the way back here. More rollout Kree, though, show up, and they're going to try and get on top of the hedgehogs. Do some body blocking. A few hedgehogs go down there. Lancers as well. But the cost is many sacrificed Kree. That poor medtech just stood right next to the Kree while it exploded. And meanwhile, wait a second. We've got a 4th and 5th base out of Kim here. Oh, and 6th base? I was not paying attention behind there. That bases galore here. That's definitely going to add some economic boost to Kim here, while ImNeverGoodEnough is, well, transferring some servos over here.
Stormgate has appeared.
But this base was spotted, and it gets taken out. The Stormgate was initially being attacked by Kim, but ImNeverGoodEnough comes over with a big enough army. Wait a second. Free roll in here, trying to get on top of servos. They're overcharged, they're healing hugging. That makes them effectively invincible. There is a repair-o-matic there too, so these Kree are probably not going to get a lot of damage done. They eventually decide to retreat. Nope, this one sentry post will go down. But at the cost of losing the Stormgate here, we get some Void Prowlers out. The Kree are doing alright here. Now that they're being microed, they're focus firing down servos and are able to get one at a time. But in come the hedgehogs. They're what is needed here to deny this harass. Single medtech as well. And that gets cleaned up. This base is back up. Where did those Void Prowlers go? There they are. They were attacking prisms, but they're also going to be cleaned up by the army. One gets away. And what an interesting back and forth. So once again, thank you, Kim, for submitting this. It's almost hard to follow all the action here. ImNeverGoodEnough pushing into the third base here, taking out a few Judicator nodes, but in comes the army of Kim from behind, getting a really nice concave on those few units over there, cleaning them up quite easily. It looks like ImNeverGoodEnough is trying to clean up prisms while this is going down, but at the cost of his army. His army is also being wiped out here. Prisms in the back now providing the surround and joining the attack. The servos that were brought along doing their best to stay alive, but they will not. Medtech's trying to run away, but no, they get surrounded by the Vectors. Vector's an interesting, good choice here, allowing them some maneuverability. Chasing Medtechs down, but there are Vulcans here. Vulcans are nasty. And yeah, the Vulcans take out that small force. Again, very interesting in terms of lots of action here in this game. This base is up again. But, nope, I thought for a second there ImNeverGoodEnough might take him out, but ImNeverGoodEnough is marching north. What's that about? Heading up north. There we go. Maybe to defend this base, or maybe to attack this base. We'll see. And look at Kim. Already expanded all the way down here. This base up too. So Kim is just being ridiculous in terms of bases. Lost this base here, but when you're up 4 or 5 bases, that's not going to make a big dent. We have an extra base going down here. Kim's going to try and take it anyways. This army has units of a lot of different speeds, and so we see when they're walking across
A Stormgate will
the
activate
map like
soon.
this, they turn into a bunch of little small groups, and that you don't usually want that. You want them bundled up. Wait a second. Okay, Kim's just gonna go overkill on this one, saying let's just make 1 billion Judicator nodes.
A Stormgate has appeared.
And the benefit of all the income coming in for Kim right now is that he can do that without taking a lot of, you know, ruining the rest of his production. And the Judicators, a few of them are going to go down before they transform. But the Stormgate was captured by Kim, just as ImNeverGoodEnough shows up. And what do we get here? A Stormcaller. Huge, huge one here. Going to go on top of this army. The army cannot run away. The poor Vulcans are not fast enough to get out from underneath the Stormcaller, even with their jump jets. And now ImNeverGoodEnough's army is split in half. And the Stormcaller deciding, hey, I'm just going to kill trees. I can do whatever I want. Go out. You can apparently go up cliffs with the Stormcaller too. And wow, that Stormcaller lost a long time, took out a lot of army, but a lot of Kim's army also got wiped out there in the little skirmish. Most of these Judicator nodes also got taken out, which is interesting to see. So that battle won by ImNeverGoodEnough. Again, now walking across the map with these slow units, causing them to bunch up. This base is going to get taken out again. But now, wow, again, another little parade from Kim as his army spread out, trying to come across and defend. But same problem that ImNeverGoodEnough was having earlier is you don't want your units all spread out one at a time. They're just going to die as they move in here. And ImNeverGoodEnough coming down the hill here being, oh, geez, there's a bunch of Judicator nodes down here. What's going on? You've got a base where I'm supposed to have a base. That's never good, but for the moment, clearing up that base pretty well. Kim shows up on the high ground. Oops, I didn't see all those sabers up there. That's certainly a punishing army. And they defend the base for now. The Judicator node stays up, and the base stays up. Although maybe more reinforcements are needed if this is going to be really pushed back, as now ImNeverGoodEnough is once again putting damage down on the base. Sabers on the high ground doing their best. They don't want to be caught in the fire. Yeah, once the hedgehogs jump on top of them, that's going to be it for some sabers. Vulcan up here too. One Vulcan gets taken out. Sabers doing their best to stay out of the attack. Kree and Vector showing up to do a little tanking. Sabers decide, let's use that max accelerator and get out of here. Fortunately, it does not last forever, and they once again slow up. So maybe this base goes down finally. Prism's dying all over the place here. Archship trying to get out of there. More units coming to reinforce. This base was put back up again, but it's already under attack again.
Dimensional rift detected.
Ton of servos rushing across. I imagine they're trying to make bases. Probably not trying to battle here. They're just parading right through the battle. Doo-doo-doo, don't mind us. We got work to do. Once again, Sabers using their mass accelerator to get out of there. While they're waiting for reinforcing more Kree, more Vectors to show up and be the front line so they can put down their punishing siege blasts. But once again, front line cleaned up and Sabers are vulnerable. They're doing their best to get out of there, once again using their mass accelerator. It's a very interesting back and forth, but every time the front line gets cleared up, those Sabers once again become vulnerable. More of them going down. Lots of Sabers going down now. That's good news for ImNeverGoodEnough. Ay, ay, ay. He's losing a lot of hedgehogs, though. And his army is a little bit spread out. Some of them getting caught by the Adjudicator nodes up on the base. That's putting down more DPS for Kim. And Kim scrappily coming around the side here. His poor Saber's not going to make it through. You got to blast away, Mr. Saber. There was a Stormgate going down. How's that going? So half of the time has run out, and ImNeverGoodEnough's going to go over there and try and claim it. You Vulcan run around the outside. Hard to say. Kind of has a low amount of DPS here. Might not be able to take out the Stormgate in time. Meanwhile, there is an attack brewing down here at the south. We got a Fate's End. Haven't seen that laser beam in a while, but it's going to melt this base. And with no repair, this base is really low. Stormgate gets won by ImNeverGoodEnough, but this base... Well, they're focusing the servos here. Note, the base goes down now. And in comes the attack from ImNeverGoodEnough as well. What came out of there? What came out of the Stormgate? Nothing yet. Oh no. What did he get? What's that? Dark Throne. Okay, curious. Interesting choice. Possibly was the default choice. If you leave the Stormgate without choosing it, it will just choose one for you. Couple sabers easily caught out here. That's good for ImNeverGoodEnough. And this is not a great engage for Kim. Trying to get a little bit of a concave using the high ground there. But ImNeverGoodEnough has a really nice ball here, putting down a lot of damage, all of his units being active. Now we get a little bit more of a concave out of Kim, even using those trees as a little bit of a place to hide behind there. Delta jumping the vectors in, I don't know if that was the right choice. In fact, a lot of them got chewed up by the Vulcan there. And wow, okay. Most of the non-medtech army of ImNeverGoodEnough has been cleaned up. There's just a few Vulcans left. Medtechs don't put down a lot of DPS. They just add to the survivability of your units. Those Vulcans, will they get focused? Yes, the Sabers are able to focus them down mostly before they have to retreat. Again, lots of indecisive battles so far this game, which is really good. Lots of battles that go both ways, a little back and forth. And for the moment, it's ImNeverGoodEnough in the upper hand, but once again, it's Kim coming in with a little bit of a concave, a little bit more reinforcements, trying to get some damage done. Trying to preserve those sabers. Oh, good body block on that saber to take it out. And now ImNeverGoodEnough is pushing through, cleaning up some of these Argents, but really good micro from Kim to keep the sabers alive as much as he can. Even this one on the high ground here. Hornets being added. Now, Hornets are pretty good against the Sabers, but the Vectors do a pretty good damage to the Hornets. More servos heading out. So interesting, the expansion pattern in this game. Each one of these battles it's scrappy in the sense that each player is trying to get a little bit of Toho, a little bit of upper hand, but it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. That Vulcan is very close to going down. Nanoswarm keeping it alive and a nice jump jet to micro it out of the damage. Saber micro as well to keep one of the Sabers alive. And it is a lot of micro here that's telling the tale of this battle. Now that there's a big Hornet number above, and they're able to just jump on top of Sabers no problem. Vectors and Argents can try and push them away. But with a big enough number of Sabers here, or big enough number of Hornets here, they don't really have to fear those anti-air units as much. They can kind of pick them off one at a time, as we're seeing here. And once again, really scrappy. Sabers going down. More reinforcements showing up. But the advantage seems to be in ImNeverGoodEnough's favor right now. At least the advantage in this battle. Keep slowly pushing those back. Oh, and now that the Saber managing to stay alive. Oh, wow, staying alive with its healing ability. Very amazing there. And for the moment, ImNeverGoodEnough gets pushed back. This base is up. Judicator's being morphed here. Another Saber getting caught out, but Mass Accelerator gets it away for now. One Hedgehog in. Oh, really nice. One Hedgehog to take it out. Again, a huge micro battle between these two in this game. Both have been able to reinforce really well. Their macro fairly good. Both of them lots of bases. But what's been really coming down is this constant battle. It's been almost all match so far. And it's been a low supply battle. Neither of them with really big balls, big maxed out armies. And it's actually, that's it right there. As ImNeverGoodEnough taps out right at the end there in the middle of a real scrappy battle. So good game from these two.